What's up everybody, Trinity here, and welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing Marvel Zombies Resurrection issue number 1. Now before I get into that, please make sure you're subscribed, click the little bell and all of that good stuff, as it helps us fight the agents of Hydra who are out there constantly trying to bury us in that YouTube algorithm. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Now, as I said, today I am going to be reviewing Marvel Zombies Resurrection issue number 1. Now, this book is being written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. The art is done by Leonard Kirk, with the color art done by Guru EFX. The letterer is VC's Travis Lanham. The regular cover art is Inyuk Lee, but I believe this is the Nick Bradshaw cover, and I've just got to show you guys this absolutely beautiful cover. Is that not just really, that's just a nice cover? That's all I can say about that. Plus, I mean, you know, you got Black Widow, you got Daredevil here, you got Elektra. Man, I don't know, that's just a beautiful cover. You know what? And you guys know I love the Inyuk Lee covers, but I like this one just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. So this book starts off, you know, obviously with this nice, this panel here with a nice little quote from Edgar Allan Poe. And then we go ahead and we're thrust into 4 Yancey Street, as Reed Richards has called a few people there to have a little meeting with them to tell them about a distress signal that he had gotten a message from Captain Marvel, and you couldn't really make out a whole lot of anything that she said, as the message was somewhat scrambled and everything, just kind of in the chaos of what was happening that she was calling about. So he's saying that, just kind of saying that there's this entity out there that they believe, you know, he believes it's going to be Galactus. He shows them these images, and, you know, everybody's like, holy crap, it's Galactus, you know. And so he's like, what I'm asking, he's like, I need some help to get out there. We need to get out there and see his body before other people get to it, and also just to see what's going on here, because it's never a good thing anytime that we come across Galactus and we got this distress signal. So like, you know, and we see, you know, him just talking there, and we see the, you know, obviously Steve Rogers is one of the people there in the room, and he's like, I know I speak for Tony too, but we'll do it. You know, the Avengers will be there. We can only spare 4 of us, but we'll be there. And we see that Beast is there from the X-Men, and Beast says, okay, you know, we'll go ahead and join. And so, you know, Reed is kind of sitting there telling him exactly what it's going to entail, you know, what they're out there to do. And we can see all the team coming together here. I mean, we've got Beast, we've got Magneto, we've got Magic, and we've got Logan from the X-Men. And then from the Avengers, we've got Tony Stark, we've got Iron Man, we've got Captain America, we've got War Machine, and even Thor. And then obviously we've got the Fantastic Four as well. Now, I'm not really sure what's going on here. I mean, apparently Spider-Man stayed behind there. You know, we can see, you know, I don't know, Spider-Man was there, probably just chilling, probably just part of the meeting. So they go ahead and head off into space, and they're all having, you know, just kind of some witty banter as they are headed out there into space to find out exactly what's going on. So when they arrive there, they are met with this. This is what they see. It's basically the dead body of Galactus, and they kind of really don't know what's going on there. And so they decide, you know, and in the meantime, they've been making a bunch of jokes about how, you know, they're there to basically take stuff from his body so they can utilize like the technology and things like that from Galactus. And so they kind of notice that there's somebody else there. They're being watched. So they decide to go and inspect, you know, and then they end up getting inside the body of Galactus, and they decide to split up, where part of the team, the Fantastic Four, are basically going down further into Galactus's body to try to find some of the technology, just some of the tissues and everything that they can get to learn from his body. And then the rest of them kind of stay behind to keep guard and keep watch on, and obviously go track down this person that they sense watching them. And as they're going through doing this, you know, we can kind of see they're, you know, Logan's kind of like, you know, like checking out the smell. You know, he's got his senses about him. He's like, man, I got this really familiar smell. And as they're sitting there, kind of poking around and prodding around, you know, like I said, the others, the scientists are out there doing their sciencey stuff, getting samples and everything. and Logan's like, man, something's peculiar. So they're walking around looking for whoever it is, and then at the last minute, he's like, oh no, like he all of a sudden remembers where he gets that smell, and then we end up with this panel right here at the very bottom there, just kind of some foreshadowing that had happened earlier in the story, and then we flash back to who we got here. We got Reed, Sue, Johnny, and Tony Stark is there as well, and even Ben Grimm, and they're there kind of looking at all of Reed's technology. They're inspecting the place and looking at everything that's going on, and they're kind of like saying, man, there's these different networks, energy networks going out to different parts of his body, and they all end up right here. So they end up blowing this hole kind of in in Galactus's dead body, and they get in there to kind of further inspect and see what's going on. Meanwhile, the other heroes who are kind of keeping guard and trying to find out who's watching them, it ends up Carol Danvers had gave them the call, and she has been infected, and she is now a zombie, and that's what Logan kind of knows. That he's like, oh, holy crap! So they're sitting there trying to fight all these zombies, fight all the zombies off, and get away and get out of the body of Galactus. And obviously, they're trying to contact the other members of their team, saying, hey man, like this is a trap. Like we need to leave. Just like we need to get out of here. And before next thing you know, everybody is kind of being faced with all these zombies on there, and they're trying to call out for help. They had left War Machine back in the spacecraft to either blow the place to hell or be ready for them to make a clean getaway when they're done getting all the stuff they need, and they can't get through to him. They can't get through to him because communications have been jammed. So we see, while everybody's sitting there fighting, we flash to Rhodey, who is on the ship, just kind of kicking it, like he's kind of talking to everybody. He's trying to communicate with him, like he's like, hey man, like the communications are down. Like what do I need to do? He's like Cap, trying to ask what he needs to do. Like he's helpless. So he decides to figure out what's going on. He's like, that's it, man. I'm going inside this piece to help my friends because I can't talk to them. They're not talking. And then so he opens up the hatch to leave and is met by Thor, who at first he does not notice has been turned into a zombie, and that's kind of what happens. He ends up getting attacked, and that's kind of where this first issue leaves off for the most part. Now, I mean, there's a little bit more to this story, but I don't want to give everything away. Altogether, I thought this was a pretty good first issue. Now, obviously, there's everybody's probably going to draw comparisons to. Obviously, Marvel did the zombies thing not too long ago, and recently, just this week, as a matter of fact, DC's Deceased had ended this week as well, and they were doing their kind of zombie thing over there. So I don't know. I thought this book was good. Now, like I said, people are going to make the comparisons. Did I think it was as good as Tom Taylor's issue #1 of Deceased? I don't think so. I don't think it was. But this was a pretty good issue. Kind of gets really gets you into wanting to read the rest of the series, as we can see that they were kind of pulled into this whole ploy to go out there into space, and they ended up becoming zombies, and they're headed to Earth. And like I said, altogether, I thought the book was pretty good. If you're into the whole zombies thing, something you'll definitely want to check out. Or, if you want to check out, just a recent mini-series, and, you want something a little bit out of the regular continuity of what's going on in Marvel Comics right now, this might be an option for you. But let me know down in the comments below. Did you read this book? Have you read Marvel Zombies Resurrection? If so, what did you think about it? And if you did read it, is it something you're going to continue to put on your pull list? That's all I have for this video today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed and click that little bell so you get notifications anytime I've uploaded new content. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. It's okay. I don't take it personal. But while you're at it, make sure that you share it with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Happy reading. Get out and support your local comic book shop. Let's talk about this comic down in the comments below. Later.